Hi, this is Lynn, and this is Yogi, and I have about a 15-minute practice for you today. So what I'd like you to do is clear some space. It doesn't require a whole lot of space. You do not need a yoga mat, but it might be nice if you have one. You can also grab a beach towel or a blanket if you have that as well. And we're going to go ahead and start on our back. So go ahead and lay down. Make yourself comfortable, whatever that means. Maybe knees bent, maybe legs extended. To have your hands resting on your belly. Maybe you prefer to rest hands on the floor beside you. And just take a moment to feel your muscles release. Allow the weight of your body to fully let go to the support of the floor beneath you. If you haven't yet, I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. And then notice all the places of your body that are making contact with the floor. You can feel the weight of the back of the heels on the floor. You notice how the back of your ankles kind of gently arches away from the floor. You might be able to feel your calf muscles on the floor, the back of your lower leg. And you feel that little lift behind the knees. And feel the thighs and the hips resting on the floor. Feel low back gently arching away from the floor. Feel the ease through the upper and middle back, at the back of the shoulders, down the length of the arms. Then notice the little arch behind your neck. And then finally, letting go of the weight of the head. So you feel the weight of the head resting fully on the floor beneath you. And shifting your attention to your breath, let your next inhale be just a little bit deeper. And then let the breath go in any way that feels good. As if you could direct the breath low into your belly, taking a slow, deep in-breath through the nose. And then just letting the exhalation leave your body any way that feels good, through nose or through mouth. And when you're ready, bend your knees if they're not already. We're going to take feet a little bit wider than your hips. Feet are a little bit wider than your hips and a comfortable distance from your hips. And then we're going to take what's called windshield wipers. So you're just going to let both knees drop to the right, any amount. They don't have to touch the floor or anything like that. And then inhale and take your knees back to center. And exhale, let your knees drop to the left. You can see where the name comes from. Windshield wiping the knees from side to side at any speed that feels good. Kind of using the knees to create a little massage across the back of your pelvis there. Let's do one more to the left, and then the next time your knees are to the right, pause. Next time knees are to the right, pause. If your knees are floating off of the floor and it's uncomfortable, you might grab a prop, a blanket or a towel to slide it underneath your knees. And then we'll take the left arm overhead. So left arm reaches, relaxing that arm along the floor, maybe bending the elbow so that the arm finds the floor more comfortably. Creating just a little bit more stretch along the left side of the body. You might feel a little bit of a stretch or a lot of bit of a stretch into the front of the left hip. It's all good. Nice deep breath in. Easy breath out. Now letting the breath just move in and out through the nose. Nose breathing only. Then you bring your left arm back to your side. We're going to switch the direction of the knees. So now knees making their way to the left. And then right arm overhead. Right arm overhead. Taking a nice mindful, intentional breath there. One more time. Now go ahead and bring that right arm back to your side. You're going to bring your knees back to center. Give them both a big hug, draw your knees into your chest as far in as they'll come. They might go out to the side a little bit. That's okay. If it feels good, you could make some circles with your knees. So again, you're getting that little massage across the back of your hips. And then keep your right knee hugged in. Extend your left leg along the floor and let your left leg rest on the floor. Then draw your toes back so you're energizing that left leg. You're doing a little bit of work in that left leg, and you'll keep drawing your right knee into your chest with the option to add some ankle circles if that feels good. Just kind of circling your foot around. And then start to take your right knee out to the side until you feel a little tug into the inner thigh of that right leg. And you might then take your left arm out to the side to kind of balance your weight there. So left arm out to the side, right knees to the right. Left leg is still engaged to keep you from rocking onto the right side entirely. Nice deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then bring that right knee back to center. We're going to switch the hands. So now left knee grabs a hold. I'm sorry, left hand grabs a hold of the right knee. Right arm out to the side. And we'll take a little bit of a twist, bringing that right knee across your body. And you're going to roll onto that left hip a little bit. So here, a nice release for the outer hip, the low back, the front of the chest and the shoulder on that right side. Let it be easy. Find a way to relax into it, softening the muscles of the face, the arms. Take one more breath here. You're going to bring that knee back into center. Let's hug both knees into our chest. Both knees draw in. And then we're going to switch sides. So you're going to keep that left knee hugged in. Extend your right leg straight, and let it rest on the floor, but then draw your toes back. You're flexing your foot, so you've got a little bit of work happening in that leg. And then you can add some circles here if you like with your ankle. And take a hold of your left knee in your left hand. You're going to release your right hand out to the side. And then left knee goes out to the left any amount. Might be a little bit, might be a lot, until you feel a little bit of a stretch into your inner thigh there. Again, just letting it be easy. There's no better place to go. There's no doing it right or wrong. As long as it feels good, as long as you're not hurting yourself, you're doing it right. Okay, and then take your time bringing that left knee back to the center. You're going to take your right hand to that left knee and then draw your left knee across your body to create the twist. And you will rock onto your right hip there. And then left arm is out to the left. Nice deep breath in, feeling the belly lift and the ribs expand. The breath out, that sense of release and softening in the body. Do that one more time. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And bring your knees back to center. One more time, giving those knees a nice big hug, drawing knees into chest. You might enjoy bringing your forehead up toward your knees, getting a little stretch into the back of the neck there. Let's take a big full body stretch, extending legs, long arms overhead. Just like a good morning stretch. And then let's rock onto our sides and we'll push up to a kneeling position. And if you remember this from our mini classes, we're going to take a tabletop pose and move into cat-cow. So remember for this one, you're going to bring your shoulders right over your wrist and your hips over your knees. And then we're going to start to move with breath. Inhaling, we arch the back. And exhaling, we round the back. So just letting the breath guide the movement and taking those movements any way that feel good to you. So maybe smaller, maybe larger. If you have a history of herniations in your spine at all, maybe keeping the movement very small, or maybe staying in tabletop pose. All right, then come back to center and we're gonna drop into child's pose. So for child's pose, you're gonna walk your knees just a smidge wider, bring your big toes to touch, and then you can send your hips back over your heels. Arms can continue to reach forward, or if that bothers your shoulders, you're gonna make a little pillow with your hands and let your forehead come to rest on your hands. If this bothers your knees, you're gonna walk those elbows forward and stay just a little bit higher on your knees so that you're not compressing your knees there at all. And if this bothers your knees to be kneeling, you're welcome to have a seat and hug your knees into your chest and let your chin drop. Okay, so lots of options for everybody in this practice, in this yoga practice. And take a couple of nice deep breaths in your child's pose, whatever it looks like. And then go ahead and extend your arms overhead. And if that was bothering your shoulders, you're going to keep your elbows bent and your arms a little closer to your shoulders. Otherwise, really reach the fingers away from your hips so you're creating some length in the sides of your body. And then we're going to take both hands to the left. You're going to walk both hands to your left. Really, really reach through your right fingers and then send your right hip back so that you're getting a little side stretch into the right side of your body. Okay, and if you're not in a kneeling position, if you're in that seated position, you're going to be here getting the side stretch in a very similar fashion along the right side of your body. Okay, we're going to take arms directly overhead once more, walking hands back to the center, and then both hands way off to the left, whether you're seated or kneeling. And get that stretch now onto the left side of the body, anywhere from, say, elbow to left hip. Good. And then again, come on back to center, and we're going to make our way to that tabletop pose again. And at this point, you're welcome to take that beach towel or blanket and slide it under your knees for a little extra cushion. And we'll take a tabletop twist, and you might remember this one from our Mindful Monday as well. So for this one, you're going to take your right hand behind your right ear. We're going to take a little twist to the right, turning your rib cage to the right, then your chest, then your shoulder, and then maybe that elbow. And then from there, we're just going to slide that right arm underneath. Keep going until you can come to rest on the outside of your shoulder and very lightly on the side of your head. So the target tissue here is that space between your shoulder blade on the right side and your spine. Kind of the upper back here. And then you can keep left hand there as it is, or if you'd like to, you can walk your left hand to the front edge of the mat. Take a few nice, easy breaths. To come out of the shape, you're going to press into your left hand. So slide that left hand back in if you need to. Press into your left hand. And we're going to switch sides, taking a moment in your tabletop pose. Then left hand behind left ear. With your inhale, take a little bit of a twist to your left. Then with your exhale, I'm going to slide that left hand underneath your body, between right hand and right knee, and come to rest lightly there. Remember your option, keep your right hand where it is, or you could work your right hand toward the front edge of the mat if you're on a mat, or just overhead. A couple of real mindful, intentional breaths. And you're going to slide your right hand back in. Press into your right hand, come back to tabletop pose. And then we're going to finish up in a pose called Sphinx pose. And so for this one, we're going to walk our hands forward, slide knees back, and just come onto your belly there. And rest your forehead on your hands. You're welcome to take your arms by your sides if you prefer, but just take a moment to feel how this is in your low back. And then with forehead on floor, forehead stays on the floor, you're going to gently press your pubic bone into the floor. And just take a moment and see if that's okay for your low back. If it is, we're going to come into Sphinx pose by sliding the elbows underneath the shoulders. Okay, so you're coming up there. Now, if this feels like too much in your low back, start by, again, press your pubic bone down. You take your feet a little bit wider, see if that feels better. You could also then slide your elbows further apart to come a little bit lower into the shape. Otherwise, elbows are underneath shoulders, and the target tissue or the tissue that we're lengthening is the front of the body, a side of the body that often gets kind of shortened and compressed from what we do most of the day, sitting. So gently pressing elbows and forearms into the mat, feeling the length through the sides of the neck. Just a few easy breaths. Take one more breath there, and then to come out of the pose, we're just going to slide the elbows back out again. Take a moment resting your forehead on your hands. And then from here, we're going to take our final pose. And then yoga, there's a pose called Shavasana. That is always the final pose in class. And for this pose, all you're going to do is roll onto your back. Get yourself comfortable. So if you have that beach towel, you might slide it underneath your head or underneath your knees. If you're comfortable extending your legs out, you can do that. But if that bothers your back, certainly find another position for your legs that allows you to relax. We've got arms by our sides with the palms face up. Again, noticing the contact that you're making with the floor beneath you. And then coming into this final resting state where the body gets to kind of absorb the benefits of the practice. And we also balance the work of the practice with an opportunity to rest the body and the mind. So I encourage you, especially if you have the time, to spend a good 5 minutes here, maybe longer. When you're ready to move on with the rest of your day, it's going to deepen your breath and add some movement back into your body. And roll gently onto one side. And then easily press yourself up. All right, I hope you enjoyed that mini practice. I think we were there about 15 to 20 minutes. And I wish you a pleasant rest of your day or evening. Thanks for joining me. Namaste. Yogi says, see you next time. Boy.